she was literally game after game farming the judge battle professors for tickets, and she got, like, I think a total of, like, 40 tickets. She walked away with, like, it was about 2 of the, like, big-sized plushies and then, like, 1 of the medium-sized ones, and those were, like, 12 to 15 tickets each.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, it was, like, fun to see that sort of engagement and
Yeah,
excitement amongst all the people.
nice, man. Um, so I have a few quick fire questions for you. Hopefully we have enough time for me to get through the other few questions I have, which are a bit longer form. Um,
Sure, no
but
worries.
but the first one is just a brief, basically your take on the NAIC. I don't know if you saw any of that or were keeping up with some of that, but what was kind of your impressions? Because
I did I did see, I did see some of it. I saw that, it was the Gardevoir deck that won, I think it was Seniors and Masters. I love the creativity of that deck. My big encouragement that I wanna give to the whole Pokemon community is just because you saw a deck do really good in these bigger events, still try to get creative, build something unique. You
yeah,
never know what could happen if you're just,
rogue decks.
messing around with it. But yeah, so that's my encouragement, I suppose.
And did you see any of the VGC side of the NAIC? Because it was interesting to see like Incineroar being like highly picked, Rillaboom. Um, I was surprised that they included legendaries, as those restricted tier Pokemon. I always thought they were going to kind of separate those into two different like Ubers and then overused type thing, but they allowed you to put Ice Rider and Shadow Rider Calyrex in your team. So, but
Yeah,
did you look into the VGC much? I was just curious to see those like highly picked Pokemon like who was being used a lot. And
I
did it?
tend to focus on trading card game because
I
of the
see.
local demographic of players.
Yeah.
Personally, my favorite thing to do is just offer breeding. So, like,
Yeah.
when people come to my shop, it's just a small farmer's market shop. It's an indoors farmer's market, but it's sometimes gets quiet, so I have my video game and I sit there breeding. Um, so not to, like, dodge your question, but I
No,
don't
that's fine.
know too much about video game.
That's
I know
fine.
I prefer breeding for good stats
Hmm.
so that I can encourage players to try whatever they want. I tend to take about a week to give 5 stats. I never guarantee a 6 stat, and I never sell them, but I just let people ask me if I could breed for them, I would. Uh, so, because I'm a big fan of abiding by the rules, and I
Yeah.
want people to be able to get those good Pokemon without having to gen,
Yeah.
and if I have the time, I'll just do the breeding for them.
Because
What were the Pokemon you were saying made it into the NAIC that you were surprised with?
uh, Incineroar, Rillaboom, these types of picks.
Oh yeah, Rillaboom has been huge in the meta, and Incineroar I think is making a good comeback because during Sun and Moon era, there wasn't a single team that didn't have Incineroar. Um, it's cool to see some of the first partner Pokemon in the competitive scene. Um, I'm surprised that we're not seeing more of the current first partners.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like we're seeing a lot of the same. Urshifu's still very prominent, I think.
In the top
Correct me if I'm
12.
wrong.
Yeah,
Pardon?
sorry. I was just saying, in the top 12, there was Urshifu Rapid Strike was highly picked. Raging
Ogerpon,
Bolt.
I think.
I don't see Ogerpon for this day because I think it was day one, but it was like
Oh, nice. Okay.
Tornadus, Incarnate, Whimsicott, Fluttermane, Amoonguss saw a lot of play. Chi-Yu, Farigiraf, Iron Hands, and Pelipper, as well as Incineroar and Rillaboom. So yeah, because
Yeah, those
it's interesting these picks because you know you were saying kind of like you don't sell these digital Pokemon, but you can see on eBay from time to time, that they're selling shinies, they're selling high natures, so there is kind of a market there if you do want to go that way. But
never. I would
yeah,
never
yeah,
go against the terms of service of Pokemon.
yeah,
But not just that, I think it's against the spirit of the game. And
yeah.
also, if you remember last year's Worlds, there
Um,
was players who genned.
oh no, so they made their own Pokemon illegally, sort of generated them rather than actually breeded
So
and trained.
the thing is, I I can't speak too much about what they did. Um, but I know that like it would just suck. It's against the spirit of the game, and it would suck to make it all the way to Worlds, putting in all that effort, team building, strategizing, and then be, approached by a professor at the table,
Yeah, you're right. And just say like these
saying,
are
"Oh,
illegal,
this is not a legitimate," or
not
"This has been
legitimate.
hacked,"
Yeah,
or
hacked Pokemon.
"And,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you're totally right.
There's that factor, but also Pokemon cards are allowable to be in the secondary market. They're a physical good.
Yes.
I believe that anything that's generated by Pokemon's intellectual property, which is the video game, it would be Pokemon's right to sell Pokemon within the
Yeah.
game, but it would be our right. And then on top of that, if that was did become our right, where Pokemon was like, okay, yeah, go ahead and sell it, I think I might, because I know that the Pokemon I'm providing would be
Yeah.
legitimate and allowable in the video game,
You could have the
competitively.
Cedar seal of approval if you were gonna do that.
Yeah,
But
but
like,
I don't like I would never go against the toss.
yeah,
I think
terms of service. I
the
understand.
Poke Bible, I suppose,
Yeah, yeah. But
when it
like,
comes to what we're allowed or not allowed to do.
with events and things, yeah, that's the good way that they distribute, isn't it, Pokemon? So sorry, back to my quick fire questions. It is related, so you can answer these super quick if you'd like. First off, favorite video games.
Sure, yeah. Alongside Pokemon, Final Fantasy for
Yes.
sure. Yeah,
Yes.
and then like I grew up with it all. Like uh for Sega, there was this game, very little known about it by many people, but it was called Seven Saga. There was Azure Dreams. I
Yes.
saw you've been playing that a little bit. That's really
I've been
cool.
dying in it a lot.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's nearly the first roguelike game ever.
Really?
But yeah, that's the nice thing about it, is that there's some progress you keep and some you don't.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah, RPG is my category.
mm-hmm.
Um, there was
Um.
also a game called Dragon Quest. I'm not sure if many people have heard of that, but then
Yes.
there was Dragon Quest Monsters.
Oh,
I was
okay.
way more into Dragon Quest Monsters than Dragon Quest.
Monster taming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. The next question I have for you is this might be kind of a hard one. Is favorite Pokemon card? And don't worry, I will be getting a little bit more specific with the next few questions.
My favorite Pokemon card that I own,
Or not own. This you could be
own or not own. Well,
Trophy
I think the
Kangaskhan if
thing
you want.
is that I own it.
Okay.
Well, okay, I have a chase. Okay, sure. We'll do this. I'll give you a little bit of a small story, a tidbit of my history as a human being on planet Earth.
Sure.
And then that might describe why this one card is my favorite card. And then I'll just tell you what I'm chasing.
Sure. Thank you.
So in my past days, I was a head chef for a few years, growing up in the restaurant industry. After my parents retired, they closed their restaurant. So then I just got jobs as a head chef. After I stopped that, one of my friends was getting married, and I offered cooking for their wedding reception as a wedding gift.
Nice.
So after the wedding, because I wasn't expecting anything, I was gifted the I believe it was Shining Fates. No,
Hidden Fates?
Dragon's Majesty? Dragon's
Dragon's
Majesty,
Majesty.
I believe. It was the Shining Umbreon from Dragon's Majesty GX.
Oh, okay.
Am I right about the set of that Umbreon?
Maybe. I think it may be Hidden Fates that you're on about. But either way. Because Dragon Majesty
Hidden
was.
Fates. It
Yeah.
is Hidden Fates, you're right.
Because Dragon
The
Majesty was
reason I thought
purely
it was
dragons,
Dragon's
yeah.
Majesty is because it came with a Rayquaza figure,
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
that's Hidden Fates. So
Hmm.
I remember my
Great
friend
set.
opening it and rubbing it in my face that they got that Umbreon. And then I ended up it was gifted to me because I gave a gift. So
Oh,
that's so special to me.
that's so
And
great.
then my chase card would be the POP Umbreon Gold Star. I
That's a
do
great
have the
choice.
reprint of that one.
That's the one
But I'm
which it doesn't have holofoil on it. It's just it almost looks like a common card. Is that right?
I think you're right
Yeah.
because in
Low pop.
Japan it was hollow.
Mm.
Um
That's your chase. Because obviously
yeah.
in your icon in your it's the cedar tree, but also an Umbreon is poking out, and that's shiny. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a shiny Umbreon, yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. In my Pokemon Go, the way I play Pokemon Go is I don't necessarily play Pokemon Go. I just like take pictures of Umbreon. My shiny Umbreon's name is Alucard.
Nice.
That I suppose that says a little bit about past games that I really
Yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah. Cynthia Knight's
But
great
yeah,
game.
so yeah, Alucard and I go on adventures, and I share pictures of that on the Instagram.
Awesome. Okay, next question for these quick fire ones. Your favorite set? Favorite set?
Favorite set of all time? Ooh,
If
that's
you
a
have,
tough question
yeah,
because there's lots of really new sets that I'm so passionate about. Like Twilight Masquerade just hit the mark so well, but also like going back, there's the uh um there's Tag Team,
yeah.
uh there's Prism Star. Those were amazing sets, but we could go back even further, like XY Breakpoint, Breakthrough, Steam Siege, because those were like literally the time I was like certified as a professor. But there's also like when I started getting back into playing Pokemon was around the era of Phantom Forces, Roaring Skies. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I loved playing Shaman in my decks. Well before he was banned. Furious Fist was awesome. Who's not a Lucario fan?
Yeah.
Uh, Going even further back, Delta Species. What was it? EX Holon Phantoms.
Mm-hmm.
That era of cards. And like Aquapolis, all the E-reader
Quapalis,
sets,
Skyridge, yep.
Southern Islands.
Team Rocket
There's
returns.
the Neo sets, Neo Destinies. I mean, it's so hard to choose from. What could I say is my favorite?
Yeah. Because my next question was, what is your favorite era, which you've kind of gone over a little bit.
I would have to say my favorite era is uh oh, it's so tough. Um Currently it's Scarlet and Violet.
Really?
It
Okay.
might be contrary opinion to most. I think they did a
Some would
great
agree
job with
with
the
you.
game. I think they did a great job with the world building. The Pokemon that were released are beautiful. Um, so there's that. And then also XY still, because again, it's symbolic to Professor Cedar's history.
Yeah. Nice, man.
And
Oh,
yeah, I'm totally a Chespin fan. Chestnut is awesome.
yeah. Did you see the Leon fight against the trainer? What was his name with the Charizard X? Um, he uses a chestnut, and that's a really cool fight against the Rillaboom, where he's like using gyro ball to like spin up the vines. I can't remember the name of the trainer. It's escaped me now. That's annoying. Um, so the next question I had was the favorite
Elaine.
Alan. Yeah, that was it. Alan's chestnut
Oh yeah,
versus
Alon.
Leon's Rillaboom. That's a great fight if you haven't seen it.
Oh yeah.
Um, but the next question was, I think you've kind of answered this, but for the quick fire, favorite Pokemon card in your collection?
Yeah, that's the I'll add to it. So, um I believe so if you guys want to, there's a couple people I would say follow on Instagram if you're an Umbreon fan. There's Umbreon Star and then Umbreon Collector 1.
Okay.
So for me, I'm near that top tier of like a vast Umbreon collection. Um I tend to not share too much of that Umbreon collection on social media, mostly for like business marketing purposes. I do
Sure.
like use the social media for the business. I try to still put a personal touch into the social media, but yeah, I've been called because there's some videos out there of my Umbreon collection, and it's quite vast. I think one of the coolest things I have is I have both the hollow and the reverse hollow of the Delta species Umbreons. So I would say those are really cool. I have the old school Umbreon EX with like the silver border. I have a couple of Umbreon primes.
Um,
So those are cool. But
do you,
if I were to say like a non-Umbreon, that's one of my favorites would be a black and white base set Pikachu Secret Rare.
oh, okay. I'm trying to remember what that card looks like.
Um, it is on my YouTube channel, my latest video. But
Okay.
the reason I really love those and anything before that era when it came to secret rares is because Pokemon Company made secret rares actually secret. Whereas nowadays, if you look at secret rares, there's like 100 secret rares per set. I might
Mm,
be exaggerating a little bit, but like everyone knows.
yeah. Like the gold
Like
Snorlax from Chilling Reign, for example.
Y yeah, whereas that Pikachu, it had some holographic parts to it where you could kinda tell it was more special than the rest, but it was still just like it looked like a common card, but it was a secret rare.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out at
Kinda
some
like
point.
how, Dark Raichu
Yeah.
is a secret rare, and you can't really tell it's a secret rare. Like, things like that make secret rares so special back then. Another one of my favorite cards from my personal collection is I was gifted a reverse hollow Eevee from Legendary Collection.
Oh, nice.
That was a recent gift I received back in 2018.
That's a very nice gift.
Oh yeah, it, at I mean at the time it wasn't worth as much as it's worth now, value like financially value wise, but to
Sure.
me again when it comes to value, I value things higher based on you know emotional, sentimental, entertainment value, and that card just it has so much value to me based on how special it is.
Because grading to you, it's like you can take and leave it kind of thing.
Yeah, I think with grading, is this officially a question you're asking me?
Yeah. I'll get back to the quick fire. Sorry.
I just like I want to reserve what I have to say about grading unless it's an actual question.
Uh, yeah, sure. We can make it one. Sorry.
Okay, sure. All right. So to me, grading has created this sort of investor mentality financier. Pokemon cards are an investment economies type stuff, and to me, Pokemon cards are special beyond that,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's more about community, cherishing what we have. I don't like making it about the money,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like grading cements it as it's all about the money. It's no longer about what we love. It's about people loving money, and that's why they get the cards graded.
yeah, yeah.
And that hurts me a little bit because
Mm.
maybe I'm a little too sentimental about it,
Which is
I
fine.
suppose. Um,
You're allowed to be. Um,
yeah, so I mean, like, okay, the way I'm gonna say this is simply there's something called a up uh Ultra Pro One Touch case. There's
okay.
something called an Ultra Pro recessed screw down case.
Yeah,
That essentially Actually, that's actually better for the card because graded cards typically don't have sleeves on them inside the plastic. So if you can have a perfect fit sleeve on a card and put it in your recessed screw down case, that's first of all better for keeping the card in its condition, first of all. But secondly, it doesn't have to be sealed shut where you can never get that card out again unless you risk damaging your card. You could just go get a screw down case for what $1.50 to $4 depending on like what currency you use, and cherish your card and display it that way. Does it have to be graded? Are you collecting numbers? Are you collecting valuable things financially, or are you collecting things that are sentimentally valuable to you?
yeah.
So that's how I feel about grading.
Fair
Unpopular
enough.
opinion alert.
Fair enough. No, no. I think it's completely valid, Professor. Yeah. Thanks for the take. So the next question I had for you, out of these quickfire ones, I am reaching the end of them. Your favorite product,
My favorite product?
which is a difficult question, I know.
Actually, no. It's not. My favorite product, shout out to my buddy, also a business owner who does farmers markets. Um,
Shout out.
you guys can check it out. Victorian Grooming Co. Just Google that. He does ship I think internationally. It's my favorite beard care and shaving products.
Nice,
So shout out to Tony from Victorian Grooming Co.
nice.
Definitely recommend that product. I just had a clean shave today thanks to his goodies.
Oh, okay. Because I guess I should have said favorite Pokemon product, but yeah, we got a double one there. So, for example, the Charizard UPC or the Hidden Fates
Oh,
ETB.
sorry. Oh my
It's okay.
goodness.
No
I
worries.
just got a little bit excited. I wanted
No,
to
it's fine. No, no, no. Like shout out, fine.
shout out and support a local small business.
No, it's fine.
Favorite Pokemon product?